Welcome to our practical video series. This is the bear stretch. The funny name simply because it looks a little bit weird in between, but you will feel how beneficial that actually is for your whole system. Actually, the bear stretch is also a good word because sometimes when you have a lot of fear, a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of existential stuff happening in your body, it tends to clog around your hips and in your belly and in your lower back. Especially the fear that comes up into the back of the legs and the lower back is something that contracts the muscle a lot. Now when we do this bear stretch, it's actually almost a fear stretch because you loosen the muscles that are responsible for holding the fear in place. Now, having said that, not everybody is as bendy and as flexible, so if you have to adjust the position slightly, nothing wrong with it, as long as you feel the stretch inside your own body. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing, right? Just feel what your body needs. And if your body needs to back out a little bit, well, go ahead and do that. And if you feel after a time, because when you do it a couple of times, your body will get quite flexible quite quickly. So you can actually go deeper into the position. So please respect the boundaries of your body. Go to the edge of your comfort zone. Stay there and feel. And if stuff starts to happen, remember, you can always breathe it out. So take a deep breath towards the stretch, and release into it and with it. Okay? What you need for this exercise is something comfortable underneath you. So it can either be a nice carpet, or it can be a yoga mat, or something that is actually giving you a little bit of softness underneath. So come to the front of whatever your thing is, if it's a yoga mat, and bend your front foot 90 degrees. So you can actually look at the yoga mat. So there's one side, short side. Your foot is actually going parallel to it. You bend your foot, so you've got a 90 degree. The upper thigh is going along the long side of the yoga mat. So here's another 90-degree angle. And then you fold the other leg the same way. So there's another 90-degree angle. You adjust the back thigh, so there's another 90 degree, and the foot 90 degrees. So you really look 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Good? Got that. Now you twist your hip forwards in a sassy way. Twist the hip forward. It can't go very far, and then it stops. You put your outside hand just randomly on the floor wherever, and now you take the arm that is where the hip is in front, and you stretch it up out of the body, so reaching up higher, 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 and you can already feel the pull in your back, stretching yourself up and high, and then twisting away from your hip, pulling yourself out of your hips, out of your lower back, and bending over slightly, so you're really pulling, and you will feel it in your back muscles. Once you get a little bit more flexible, you can come down more. But for now, the idea is to really pull you out of your hips. Keep on breathing, keep on pulling. This is the muscle that is actually responsible for a lot of back pain if you're sitting a lot. Quadratus lumborum. It's connecting your lower back to your hip. And that's what we're stretching at the moment. And gently come back forward. Let the arm come down. And now, push this back leg even further back. So if you can't go further than this, it's all right. If you have to stay here, it's all right. If you can manage, stretch your leg out in the back, turning forward. So you come onto your knee, onto your flat toes. And in this position, you're stretching the front of the hip stretcher, the psoas. You stretch it a lot because it goes from the inside of your thigh, through your hips, to your lower back. And you turn towards it. You can even come up here if you like. But it's enough to feel the stretch in this leg and to feel the stretch in the outside of the front foot. And now you can decide. You either stay here and breathe and stretch the psoas open. Or if you're all right with it, you can actually lower down over the front foot. This is absolutely up to you. And for some days, this might be nice because it gives the upper thigh of the front foot more of a stretch. And some other day it might be more enjoyable if you just stay up and then relax here. And sigh out. Sighing is always good business. Keep on opening, releasing. And just enjoy that all the fear, the tension, the stress can actually leave the body. I have to lift my head a bit because otherwise it sounds bad. And you can use your intention, you can use your breath to really let go of all the tension. Enjoying that you're actually freeing your body from tension, from stress, from fear. And then when you notice that your body is starting to relax in this position, starting to release, you can actually come back up. And then take this leg back into the 90-90 position. And now the bear part comes. It looks really weird, but it's going to do you a world of good. So this front foot wants to go down to the yoga mat, so you're pressing this knee into the floor. The knee stays there. You just lean back a little bit. The knee stays in front. But this knee, like a windscreen wiper, wants to open now. It wants to open. It wants to go away. And there will come a point where your legs can't go further, and you say, this is the bear position. So here you are in full stretch, opening the hip, opening all the insides of your thighs, opening the hip flexors. And if you can't go any further, you are allowed to let the front foot follow. So you come into this position where both your knees want to come apart, and you stretch, 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 stretch. Keep stretching, opening, and just enjoy that all the fear, all the tension, all the stress of office times can leave the body. And then in super slow motion, you follow the other leg to the floor. So you keep pulling the knees apart, but now you're allowing that which was your hind leg now to come to the floor. So you start to turn the other way round. And when the now front leg touches the floor, the other leg is allowed to come down slowly. And you have to rearrange a little bit because your 90-90 is probably not a proper 90-90 again. So you just readjust your body into a 90-90, 90-90, 90-90 degree position. And the same game on the other side. So here you are, putting your hip forwards, getting this nice pull already, feeling that the back is starting to get activated. And then lifting the arm out of this. So the arm on the side of the back leg, it's actually lifting up, pulling, pulling, pulling. And this is already a big stretch for some people. And if you can, even turn away and keep pulling the muscles out of the hip. So you will feel it in the back. It's like a big release for your back muscles. Keep on pulling, releasing. Releasing even more. Keep on pulling yourself out of it. It doesn't matter how far down you go. It's your business. Where you feel the tension. This is where you pull. Keep on breathing into it and releasing with it. And when you feel that the body is starting to loosen up, starting to become softer, and you can actually return forwards again. Let the hand come down. And now it's this stretching the psoas business again. So, either you stay here because you can't go any further, or you allow this foot to come a little bit more back. And if you can, you actually stretch the whole leg in the back, bring the toes down, turn your body forwards. And again, first of all, you get into contact with the psoas, which is stretching a lot now. With the outside of the front thigh, which is also stretching a lot now. And sighing here, really getting into contact. It's as if you're internally making contact with the areas that you're stretching to breathe into them. And you might even want to sigh out. And then depending on where you need it more, do you need it more in the back foot, then you stay upright, or do you need it more in the front foot? You can either lower or you stay up. That's totally up to you. Whatever feels better now, wherever you need the stretch more. And whichever position you have chosen, you just come to rest in that. Keep on breathing towards the stretch. Keep on opening with the stretch. And let your body melt into this. So it's not about being harsh. We've been harsh far too long. This is really about feeling the stretch, breathing into it, allowing it to release. And when you feel that it's almost getting comfortable because your body is releasing a lot, you can decide just to stay a little longer simply because it's nice. Or you can just slowly make your way back up. And you can bring the back foot forwards into the 90-90 position again. And now it's time for the bear stretch once more. So just check that you have the 90-90 happening everywhere. And then it's the front foot, this is the other foot this time, and the knee is glued to the yoga mat. So keep the knee down there, bend a little bit backwards, and then start lifting the back knee away from the front knee. But the front knee wants to stay on the yoga mat. So it's really, really pulling forwards, and the other leg is pulling back until you can't go any further, because there's a point where this is the stretch, you can't go any further, and then you allow the front foot to follow slowly. And you're in the bear position now. Both knees wants to come apart a lot, a lot, a lot. You just keep on pulling the knees apart, allowing the stretch to happen. And if you can't go any further, then in super slow motion, you allow the front knee to come down onto the yoga mat, and the hind knee is following. Super slow motion until you are actually back in your original position. And you could just once more let your hip go forwards, just to loosen it up a little bit. And you bend backwards, stretch your legs out, shake them a little bit, do some windscreen wipers, la da 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 da. Sitting up and enjoying open hips. Now you've released a lot of fear, a lot of tension, a lot of stress from the body. Because actually our modern living style is not so good for the body. You keep it in fear mode all the time. This is why make bear stretch your friend. See you in the next one.